Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations and I'm Nova Gnome and I'm so happy to see you today. I hope you are doing well and I hope that you and your loved ones are taking care the best that you can. I hope you're taking some time for yourself, taking some time to take deep breaths, to slow down and just exist. So today is Thursday, which means it's our Luck of the Draw video. If it is your first time here and you don't know what Luck of the Draw is, real quick, I will tell you what it's about. So there is a channel called Nan's Next Knots, which I will link in the description box below. And over on her channel, every Thursday, she does a Luck of the Draw video. And on her Luck of the Draw video, she pulls a number from a hat. Now the number will be 1 through 8 and you correlate things to those numbers for your project. So you can pick whatever things you want. It could be certain colors of yarn. It could be a specific yarn, you know, like a specific brand in a specific colorway or whatever. It could be literally anything. And you also pick one color that you use as like your main color that you like put in between those other colors. And this of course depends what project you decide to do. So there is a Luck of the Draw blanket and you can find more about that on her channel. But you can also just do anything you want. You do not have to make the blanket. And if you make the blanket, they like stripe the main color and then the Luck of the Draw color and alternate between them. For me, I decided that I was going to use this opportunity to dive headfirst into Freeform Crochet, which has been a blast. I highly recommend that you try out Freeform Crochet if you're interested in it. I know it's intimidating and I know it's scary to sit down with like no game plan and just kind of go for it, but it really is so like liberating. So what I decided to do for my Luck of the Draw was I kind of smashed it in with Freeform Crochet and I assigned each number a color. Instead of it being a specific yarn, which is what most people do, I have like red, blue, green, yellow, and that is my theme. When that number is drawn, that'll be the color theme for my Scrumble. So say that the number that is drawn correlates to blue. I will use any number of blues that week in my Scrumble. It could be any thickness, it could be any weight, it could be any texture and style, and the more the merrier. My goal is to kind of mash together different weights of yarn, different textures of yarn, things that you wouldn't conventionally put together, and really just make it super unique and give it cool texture and stuff. So I've also picked my main color now, which is what I'm connecting my Scrumbles together in, and it is a Red Heart Roll With It Melange. I don't remember the colorway, but if you want to know more about that, check out either my last Luck of the Draw video or the one before that. I think I told you the specific colorway for the Red Heart Roll With It Melange that I used. But I have a playlist for Luck of the Draw and that will be linked in the description box below. Highly, highly, highly recommend you check it out if you're enjoying this video. If you like this Scrumble adventure, every week I have shown a different Scrumble based on what the number drawn from the last Thursday was. So without further ado, welcome to Luck of the Draw if you're new, and welcome back if you're not new. I am going to go ahead and show you guys my Scrumble, and then I'm going to chit chat with you a little bit because I feel like it's been a hot minute. It's been a busy week, and I feel like we're due for a chit chat. So I am going to fly away and bring in some pictures. I actually remembered to take pictures of the process. A few times I was like, oh crap, I'm forgetting to take pictures, because it always hits a point in the process where I get really into it and I totally forget to take pictures. Sometimes that's like at the beginning, like you'll have a picture of a magic circle and then you'll have a picture of my Scrumble finished. But I actually remembered to take pictures, so I will put in the little process and you can see it kind of come to life, and then I'll show you in real life. All right, here it is. So, did you enjoy the process of seeing the Scrumble kind of come to life? Well, I've got it here, so let me just go ahead and show this to you. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys can hear, but my dog is sleeping under my desk and she's yipping in her sleep. So if you hear sounds, that's what it is. So here is my Scrumble. So if you couldn't tell, this week's color, well, technically last week's draw, which mine are always, you know, the following week I show you, and then today I find out my new color. This color was yellow, and I went super crazy scrumbly with it. So I pulled out my little thing here so that I could hang it up for you guys, because I've really been enjoying hanging them here. And let's adjust the lighting a little bit too. All right, let's see what the best lighting is. There's yellow lighting. It's glowing. All right, let's see. And focus it. There you go. So I turned my light down is what I ended up just doing, so that it doesn't blow out so much. So I went really scrumbly with this one. I just literally, like, no rules. I used a 3-weight yarn, a like boucle yarn. I used 4-weight yarns. I used blanket yarns. So I went like totally crazy as far as textures and weights went. I also used 3 different sizes of crochet hook on it. So I used a 3.5, a 5, and a 5.75. Or was it a 6? Nope, it was 5.75. So I did, yeah, 3.5, a 5, and a 5.75. And I did that to get different effects. So like some things like these, I wanted them to be like smaller and like more tight. So I did those in a 3.5. And I did some of these stitches. I'll take this off so I can really show you guys up close. I did some of these stitches in 3.5, but then I would switch when I wanted them to be chunkier and looser, like I did this with the 5.75. And then I did like these ones over here with the 3.5. And then I switched back to the 3.7 or 5.75 when I got to here to do these double crochets. So I just kind of used the different size hooks to kind of achieve different looks. I used the 5.75 for the blanket yarn. I used a 5 for the boucle. I believe this was a 3.5. So I just really like super mixed it up. And then at the end, at the last minute, I was like, oh my gosh, I should put a button on here. So I actually painted some buttons yellow recently, like super recently. And that was for my Mario gnome tutorial, which I just posted the last part of that. And I had painted more buttons than I needed to. I painted 2 different types of button. I'm going to go ahead and turn my brightness back up. But you guys can still see it. It's just like glowing slightly. So I had some extra buttons sitting here and I was like, oh, yellow button, yes. So I had to put a little yellow button in the middle of this. And this could be a flower, this could be a sun, totally open to interpretation. I originally was thinking a flower, but as I worked on it, I thought it looked a little more like a sun. And then I put the button in the middle and now I feel like it looks like a flower again. So, yeah, this color, today's color was actually yellow/gold. So for a couple of my numbers, I have like yellow/gold or gray/silver. And then the boucle yarn actually has like little pastel blues and pinks. So you'll see little dots of blue and pink kind of throughout. If I can focus it for you. Yeah. So that is how my Scrumble came out today. I really had a ton of fun with it. And I realized when I was going to work on this, I really do not have very many yellow yarns. This is my yellow and gold yarns. I used every one of them that I have. So I'm like, I need to like expand into my yellows a little bit, I think, because I really do not have very many of those in my collection. But my collection of yarn, my stash of yarn. But yeah, so here is today's Scrumble. Let's get like a little picture for the thumbnail. There you go. So I also just wanted to chit chat a little bit with you guys. So if you're just here for the Scrumble, then you can click away. I went ahead and put the Scrumble before the chit chat because I know not everybody is here for the same type of content. So if you're not here for the chit chat and vloggy lifestyle stuff, then you can leave if you would like to. I'm going to put this on my shoulder and then it's still luck of the draw video. So I feel like it's just been a hot minute since I've been like able to like chit chat with you guys. So I've been working on that Gnome of the Month video. Well, not Gnome of the Month. Gnome of the Month is Saturday, by the way, guys. Just to remind you, this Saturday is Gnome of the Month. So if you haven't sent me a gnome yet, and you have made gnomes this month and you want to share them, or if you haven't sent in your gnomes before and you have like gnomes you've made in general, you can feel free to send those in. It does not have to just be crochet. So you could do knit, loom knit, crochet, painted, diamond painted, cross stitch, literally anything crafty. If it's a gnome and you made it, send it in and I will put it together into Saturday's Gnome of the Month video. So just real quick, if you don't know what Gnome of the Month is, every month on the first Saturday of the month I come on and I talk about what my plans are for Gnome of the Month. Sometimes that entails me making a crochet along. Sometimes I tell you guys a pattern I picked out that I'm going to be making. If I have any ideas, sometimes I have more of an idea, sometimes I have less of an idea. And then the last Saturday of the month I come on here and I show you guys how my gnome came out and I show you guys all of your gnomes. Seriously, it is so fun. It is a gnome parade. All of the gnomes that you guys send in to me, I put together in a montage. I put your name on there. I let anybody know like any details that you share with me about it. And it's really, really fun. If you want to check any of those out, I always have the Gnome of the Month playlist linked in the description box. I like to make playlists for everything so that they're easy to navigate on my channel. So if you're ever like just wanting something that you like, particular type of content that you want to watch, and just kind of binge watch, go to my channel and click playlists, and there's literally like playlists for everything. But I also have some of like the ones I think are going to be the most commonly sought after, always linked in the description box. So totally recommend looking at those Gnome of the Month videos if you're into gnomes. Like seriously, you're going to love it. Anyways, so Saturday is Gnome of the Month, and I've been working on that crochet along, and I was like very, very excited to do this crochet along for this Mario gnome. Well, I was very excited to do the Mario gnome, and then I also wanted to do a crochet along because I knew that this was going to be one that I felt like a lot of people were going to be interested in, and I always feel bad when I make things and I don't make a pattern or a tutorial because then everybody's like, I love it. I want to make one. Can you do a tutorial or a pattern? And I'm like, I don't know what I did anymore. I literally forget what I did like so quickly. I have to write it down or type it or whatever as I'm doing it, or I'm going to forget. And it adds a layer of difficulty to things because it really like removes you from the creative process. And I really struggled with the Mario gnome because of that. So I think that it wouldn't have been anywhere near as hard for me if I hadn't been also making a tutorial and trying to keep track of the pattern, because I have to write things down so I can tell you guys like row counts and stuff like that too. So like I can't even just film the tutorial. I do have to kind of write a pattern down too. So it's a lot to do at one time. I'm designing a pattern. I'm kind of coming up with it on the fly. I'm filming it. I'm also writing everything down, trying to do all the math. That way I could tell you guys row counts, stitch counts, all of that. And also make sure that the pattern works out because, you know, the numbers need to add up so that it makes the shapes that I want. And I really struggled in particular, and I think you'll probably, if you do make it, you'll probably notice I really struggled with the hat. I'm not 100% happy with it. I'm not gonna lie. I think that it came out, like, in the end, I'm happy with how it came out, and you guys will be seeing it on Saturday, by the way. And if you look at the gnome tutorial, you'll actually see it as well, which is already up. but I'll be showcasing it to you guys on Saturday during Gnome of the Month. But I'm happy with how it came out in the end, but it's not what my original like vision was for the hat. The overall like look of it though, I'm super, super happy with. The only thing that didn't come out how I wanted it to was the hat. Everything else came out like on point what I had imagined. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm like super proud of the fact that this gnome really looks like the sketch. The sketch that I made for the first Saturday to show you guys what my plans were. It literally like, I feel like I really like knocked it out of the park and nailed it as far as like creating what I had in my vision of it, except for the hat. So I think the hat came out all right, but I think once I get a little bit of time away from this project, because I've been really stressed out with it, I think that I may revisit it and make a different hat. But who knows? I do like how it came out, and I think at some point I'll make a Luigi, because I can use that same pattern to make a Luigi. He just needs to be a little bit taller and do green instead of red, and do an L on his hat instead of an M. So that's like a very adaptable pattern that you could use. I'm actually also thinking at some point it would be fun to do like different versions of Mario, you know, like with the little cape, or like the different types of hats, you know, like the different power-ups that he can have. And I could use that base Mario pattern that I designed and just basically modify it. But for now, I need some time away from it. And I'll probably talk about this more in Gnome of the Month video, but it's a little bit more just like ranty and just like not gibberish was the word, rambling. I'm more rambling, and Gnome of the Month video I wanted to be like super positive and stuff, so me being a little bit like disappointed with parts of it, or you know, saying that it really stressed me out and stuff, I'm probably not going to put that in Gnome of the Month. I don't want to like, you know, bring the vibe down for Gnome of the Month, but yeah, so I just wanted to like level with you guys on that, because it definitely was probably the most stressful tutorial that I've done. I hope that you guys enjoy it, and I'm not trying to be like, you better enjoy this, because I'm the one who decided to make the tutorial, but it was definitely it was much more time consuming than I expected it to be. And I was telling this to my hubby last night. I was telling him I think that I didn't think about the fact that the other gnome tutorials I've done, my gnomes, I use like a similar concept when I make them. So I'm not using the same pattern. If you use my Gnome of the Month, if you follow any of my gnome tutorials, you'll know that it's not the same gnome over and over, but it's a similar shape. It's a similar concept. I know how to make that type of gnome, because I've made so many of them at this point that I can whip out a tutorial a lot more easily, at least for like the basic shaped gnomes. Then this Mario gnome, there was a lot of details that I wanted to be very specific, and it was different than my normal gnomes. And I just didn't really like think about that a whole lot when I expected it to take me a week to do the tutorial and design it and everything. It ended up taking me like 2 or 3 weeks. I've been working on it, and I barely got it out in time. Because it just took so much time and so much effort. And I really not gonna lie, I really got burnt out on it. I was like not wanting to finish it and everything. So I'm glad that it's done. I'm really happy with it. I knew I would be happy with it when it was done, but it was one of those things that like I was pushing myself to finish it because I had an obligation to do it for the channel. If it had been just a project for me that I was working on, it would have gotten pushed to the side and I would have worked on something else and given it a timeout, because I don't like to push so hard on stuff like that where I burn myself out on it. If I'm not enjoying it in the moment, you know, I rotate projects, and I enjoy rotating projects. That's like my method. This is so cute. I feel like you guys can't like really see it. I'm gonna do at the end of this video, I'm gonna do a little video clip of it because I feel like it looks different in the camera than it is in front of me. But yeah, so it was like a bit stressful. A lot of bit stressful. And then Wednesday, which was yesterday, I didn't even end up getting a video up because I was literally, oh my gosh, I was so stressed out because I was trying to finish this, not this, but I was trying to finish the Mario thing. I had it all planned out. Like, I was just gonna, like, bust butt on that thing. I worked on it Tuesday night, like, till super late at night. But Tuesday afternoon, my apartments left a note on the door that they were doing annual inspections tomorrow, aka Wednesday, and they would be starting at 9:30. And I was like, seriously? Like, I planned on sitting here. That's my front door right there, by the way. I planned on sitting here, like, working on this, filming, you know, like, I need quiet. I can't be, like, waiting for someone to come pounding on the door. Also, I just have massive social anxiety, and having somebody in my apartment, especially somebody that I don't know, but, like, honestly, just even people that I do know, it stresses me out really bad. So I was just, like, having panic attacks, and, like, it was so bad. And anticipating it but not knowing when they were going to come and everything. I was still working on my gnome and everything I needed to do, but it definitely made it go slower because I just couldn't really fully immerse myself into it. I was stressed out. And then I had a lot of editing to do, and I had to do some voiceovers at parts of it. It was a lot, guys. So yesterday was really, really stressful for me. It was not a good day, honestly. It was just not a good day. At least by the time, you know, evening rolled around, I was like, okay, things are done. Like, it does feel good when things are done. I'm like, okay, you know, annual inspection day is done. My gnome of, why do I keep wanting to say my gnome of the month? My Mario gnome is done, and I'm really, really happy with how it came out, and I actually love it. Like, I love the Mario gnome, despite the fact that it ended up being such a, like, more stressful process than I meant or I thought it would be. I'm happy I did it. I really love how it came out, and having written up the pattern and gotten those tutorials out, I think they'll be like a really good base for other things, especially other Mario related things. But it was so nice last night to crawl into bed and just be like, okay, I finished. I did it. Patting myself on the back. Like, I needed to sleep, and I got up at 2 a.m. and it's right now 5:30 a.m. and I'm filming this. I've been working on my Scrumble since like 2:30ish probably, and yes, I do spend an absorbent amount of time on things, but to be fair, I ended up holding Yuri for a good chunk of that, and she was sleeping on me, and so I was just watching my YouTubers. Sorry, I need a drink. By the way, I am drinking today sparkling water with caffeine, cucumber lime. It's unsweetened HEB water. I really like sparkling water, so I drank a lot of sparkling water. But yeah. So I just wanted to kind of touch bases with you guys and talk about why there was no video yesterday. I do not normally skip Wednesday videos, and I had intended for the other Mario tutorial to come out, but life had other plans. You guys know how it goes. Like, you can't control everything, and that is extremely stressful, but that's just how life is. So I rolled with it the best that I could. I got it out this morning, and now you guys just get 2 videos today. So, I'm going to give you guys like a flipped around view and give you a good look at this Scrumble, because I feel like you guys aren't getting like a really good view of the colors and stuff. But tomorrow is Friday, so if you want to send me anything for Community Spotlight, tomorrow is Community Spotlight. So my email is in the description box below. I just realized I don't know if I mentioned that for Gnome of the Month. For Gnome of the Month also, my email is in the description box below. You can just put Gnome of the Month as the subject line or Community Spotlight as the subject line of the email, and let me know what name you would like me to credit your projects with, because sometimes your email name is not the same name you want me to use on YouTube, and it's just a lot less stressful for all parties involved to know that you are getting credited the right way if you just let me know in your email. You can send me as many projects as you want. I don't have a limit on those. So Community Spotlight, you can send me any of your makes. It doesn't have to be gnomes or anything specific. You can send me any crafty makes that you've been doing. I actually don't even have it limited to crochet only or knit only. Like fiber arts. I have it just open to crafting in general. If I ever get like, you know, a ton of entries going and we're getting overwhelmed with things that aren't, you know, aren't fiber arts related, I might change that. But for now we don't. So I'm totally open to that. I think you guys, a lot of you guys are also crafters in general. So seeing crafty things is really fun too, not just, you know, crochet or knit. But yeah, you guys can send in whatever you made. You can let me know anything about it that you want me to know. And just let me know what name you would like me to credit you with. And then tomorrow I will be putting together the community spotlight video and you guys can see what everybody has been up to. I hope that you guys are doing well and I hope that you're taking some time for yourself. I definitely need to practice what I preach a little bit and take some time for myself. And that's why I just was playing around with the Scrumble this morning. I actually, there is something that I'm going to be practicing what I preach a little bit because I've mentioned it here and there, and I don't know that I've mentioned it like on the channel, like just outright. I can't remember. I know I've mentioned it in a members only video, and I know I've mentioned it to like a couple people that I've talked to outside of videos, but I was planning on doing a theme next month. For May, I was planning on doing Mushroom May, and I was going to do like mushroom tutorials, and I have like some different mushroom amigurumis that I've been wanting to make, like patterns that I've bought and stuff like that. And I was going to do kind of like an overarching theme for May, and I thought mushrooms were like just like, I don't know, Mush May was like a fun concept. I might still do it to an extent, but I actually had it all like written out in my calendar. I have it all written out in my calendar. I had like days of the week that were going to be certain things and stuff like that. I was going to do tutorials. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do it. I might not do it at all. I might do it to a lesser extent. But I know that right now we are literally, it's the 27th. And I've been so like, I burnt myself out so hardcore on this project and the tutorials and everything that I don't want to do something so regimented. I really want something less structured where I can just kind of decide each day what project I feel like working on, pick up whatever I feel like working on, hang out with you guys, tell you about whatever I work on, but not be so structured because sometimes I want structured and sometimes I don't. And right now is one of those times where I just need to like let myself be, you know, free flowing and creative with what I feel like doing in the moment. So that might be mushroomy stuff, but it also might just be whatever the heck I end up doing. So that's going to be me taking a little bit of my own advice and, you know, listening to what I need to do for myself. But I hope that you guys are doing good and I hope that you guys are doing that as well. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Community Spotlight. I love you and stay safe. Bye.